Let's move to North London now because there's something of a massive game tomorrow, and Chelsea's in different form means that Arsenal and Tottenham both have hopes now of Champions League football. Who's looking more likely to capitalise?
Well, it's not surprising that Arsene Wenger fanned the flames on the suggestion that Tottenham are divers. One back page of one newspaper actually mocking up Harry Kane and Dele Alli as Olympic divers on a synchronised diving board. But it's Arsenal that really fear that they could plunge out of contention for those top four Champions League spots if they don't win at Wembley. And that's why he's making sure the referees get their margins right. They are 5 points off the top four now, 4 points off Tottenham. Tottenham just 1 point away from Chelsea and biting at their heels. For Arsenal, it's really going to be about them beating the press. It's seen them come unstuck so many times in those bad away defeats that you talked about. Granit Xhaka will be particularly focused on after he gave away too many opportunities in dangerous areas, particularly against Swansea.
And let's hear now from both managers.
Before that, of course, they've got the North London derby. Yeah. Arsene Wenger saying, actually, we're more comfortable going to Wembley than we would be White Hart Lane because we do well at Wembley. Yeah, they do well at Wembley, and the pitch suits the way they play. It's just one or two things that they might have to tinker with, both teams. You know, Arsenal started with a back three, as we know, a season, gone back to a back four. Will they stay with that? Possibly. It's in this area, though, Jack Wilshere may or may not be in contention. If he is, does that affect us? Because they play with Xhaka just in there, and he's the one who just sits. And that's obvious because Ramsey, who played last week, hat-trick. So we know what he does, he gets forward. Now, what they do up here, Richard, you've got, it would be Mkhitaryan maybe playing from the left, Ozil from the central area. And this is the questionable area here. It's a Wobie at the moment. But would they say Lacazette, who's a record signing in the summer, would they give him a game? Because Aubameyang's bound to start. So there's one or two questions. So it's almost like they almost play like a little diamond ahead of Xhaka, where these four players can all get narrow. They play quite narrow. And Wobie gives him a little bit of width when he plays there. Mkhitaryan likes to do that. He likes to go in the little pockets here and cause a bit of damage. So that'll be interesting to see what they do there. But it's almost like a four. Xhaka's a holding player. If these boys go forward, then you go forward. You just in there to rescue it. But let's get the ball to these five and try and get them to manoeuvre the football, win the football match. For Tottenham, let me get rid of that first. Tottenham is interesting to me, Richard, because they... Oh, not the ball, don't want the ball. Who wants the ball? Oh, that's Tottenham at the top, that was the ball. What you've got is Toby Alderweireld obviously came back in midweek and played in the cup tie, right? Now he's a big part of them. What they've been playing recently is they've been playing with Dyer and Dembele in there, and then what they're calling their Fab Four: Kane, Ali, Son or Eriksen either side, Son or Eriksen either side. Problem they have, if he goes to a back three, which he has done when he said Davinson Sanchez, Vertonghen and Alderweireld, he's gone to a back three. If he does that, his decision is, do I just drop out, say, Dembele, right, and I pay Vertonghen? So that leaves me with Dyer here. Then a decision in his mind then, I have to leave out one of his Fab Four, or does he say to Eriksen, you start a little deeper, and we'll play Ali and Son in these wide areas. And I think that for me is the big decision of the game. The big decision. Does he bring him back and go to a three again? Or does he say, no, I'm going to play with my four players that have done me so proud up there? Harry Klinsmann here.
Harry Klinsmann, I knew you were going to say that. I was thinking of Klinsmann earlier today. No chance. So I think it's a fascinating game that's ahead of us. And it's going to be fascinating for me to see what Pochettino does. Will he keep this team and just go play it? Or will he say, no, Vertonghen needs to, Alderweireld needs to play, I'm going back to a back five, and who do I leave out? One of his Fab Four or a midfield?
Now, Karen, you mentioned that weak Arsenal away form. Arsene Wenger's been talking about how much his side love to play at Wembley. Who do you think will benefit more from the Wembley factor?
I think it could be a pretty level playing field in this sense. Arsene Wenger even admitting he's delighted not to be going to White Hart Lane. Arsenal have won their last 9 matches at Wembley. They seem to step up to a whole new level. You have to go all the way back to 2011 when they were defeated in the League Cup. But let's have another look at one factor. Tottenham have been called the Harry Kane team. He has a remarkable record against Arsenal. In the last 6 games, over the last 6 games, he's scored 6 goals. But then let's look at Aubameyang. In his last 4 matches against Tottenham, he's scored 4 goals too, and Mkhitaryan has already made 3 assists in just 120 minutes. Who of the dazzling names can dazzle at Wembley? It's going to be a tight encounter to start with, I assume, but Arsenal will be tested in that back line.